Hey guys, welcome back to the DCDS YouTube channel. It's great to see you all again. So what we're going to be doing in this video is giving you guys a chance to work on developing your playing with the keyboard. Now I have done some previous tutorials on how to form major chords. As you'll see from this title, we're going to be using major chords to keep the timing while we kind of start to make up a tune. So if you guys go to the playlist tab on this channel and cycle through to the keyboard tutorials, you'll see like some videos on how to form a major chord. I'll still explain it in this tutorial because like a lot of the time you'll get like teachers saying like, okay, cycle through to this tutorial and that tutorial and check these out beforehand, and frankly, who has time for that a lot of the time? So I'm going to still explain it in this tutorial just to kind of help you guys along, get you moving through it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to first point the camera down so you guys can see my keyboard going on down here. I'll explain to you how to form a major chord, and then we'll take it from there. So let me just move around here a second. Everything I do on this channel is so low tech. I have to get up and reposition cameras and everything. It's mad. Okay, so we've got the keyboard going on here, guys. Now then, to form a major chord, I'm going to use C major for this chord. Okay. Now, what you first have to do is you need to figure out what your root note is, okay? Don't freak out over the technical terms that I'm using. Your root note is literally just the letter that I say in the name. I said C major, so your root note is C. If I said A major, it would be A. If I said G major, it would be G. So, because we're doing C major, our root note is going to be C. So, what that means is that's the note that we're going to start from, okay? So, I don't know how close you guys can actually see here, but I'm starting at a C note there. I have written the letters on the keyboard. Okay. If it helps, if you're brand new to the keyboard, the first note on your keyboard, that's a C. Okay. And then from there, it just cycles through C. If we're talking about the white keys, that is, it just goes C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. It just kind of cycles through them like that. The black keys aren't really relevant for this tutorial at the moment. I'll still explain it, but you don't need to know the names of them when we're doing the C major scale. So, we've decided that our root note is going to be C because we're doing C major. So, I'm going to play a C note here. That's a little bit quiet, isn't it? Okay, so we've got our C. Now from there, we're going to move what we call we're going to move through some semitones, okay? Again, don't worry about the technical term, it's just a fancy word of saying keys or steps, okay? So we're going to move up 4 from here, okay? So we've got our C, we're going to move along 4 keys. We're going to count the black keys and the white keys, okay? So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. That puts us at E, okay? So that's C and E. Then from there, we're going to move up another 3 semitones, another 3 keys. So 1, 2, 3. That puts us at G. Okay? So when we play all 3 of those notes, we get C, E, and G. That's a C major chord, okay? Now then, what I first want you guys to get used to doing is literally just bouncing. Yeah? Bounce that chord a bit. What you'll notice is I'm keeping that the same speed, okay? If it helps, count it as you do it. You're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, round and round and round. And then all I'm going to do, I'm going to form another C major chord with my other hand. This is going to be the first part of several, okay, because we're going to start to kind of develop it as we go, but this is just a beginner kind of introduction sort of thing. So I'm going to make another C major chord, what we call an octave up, okay? So it's basically a fancy word of saying 4, where am I getting 4 from? 8 steps up, 8 notes up, okay? So we started at C, and then another 8 notes up from there, we're back at C again, okay? So again, I'm pressing down on C, E, and G. Okay, so what we're going to do here, I'm going to keep that bouncing going on my lower octave, and then sometimes I'm going to try and squeeze an extra C major chord on the next octave up. I'm going to try and squeeze one of those in between the lower ones, okay? Now let's just keep this simple for now. Let's try and do it. Let's try and do it between the third and fourth one, okay? So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and then that's the third one, and then we're going to do our next octave up, and then our fourth on the lower octave, okay? So it's going to go 1, 2, 3, and 4, okay? And then back to the start. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now what you'll notice is I have to try and squeeze that higher octave C major into it, okay? That's because, like I said before, those lower ones must stay the same speed. Okay, so in order to get that higher pitched octave in there, I have to play it in, I have to squeeze it in before I get to the next lower one. So that's all we're doing. We're going 1, 2, 3, and 4, and oh, what am I doing there? 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, and then what we're going to do, I got a bit ahead of myself there doing that extra C major, because that's what we're going to do now. We're going to put in another C major after the fourth lower octave, but before we get to the first one again, like this. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2. Okay, so let me just put the camera back up again. Okay, so all we're going to do there, that's literally just playing those two chords, two C majors, an octave apart. And then all you do, just keep that lower pitched octave bouncing up and down, counting up to 4, round and round, always at the same speed, and just squeeze that higher pitched one into the gaps in between, okay? Remember, those lower pitched ones must stay the same speed. You cannot speed them up or slow them down to fit that extra one in, okay? So keep them the same speed and try and squeeze that higher pitched octave in between them sometimes. It doesn't have to be every time. It can just be in between two of them, or it could be in between like two C majors and then another 2 C majors. As long as you're squeezing it in and it's not clashing with the lower pitched ones, that's absolutely fine. Okay, we're going to look at some other major chords in future videos, but for now we're just working with C major. It's always a really good starting point because it's all white keys. We're not actually working with any of the sharps or flats. Okay, it's the same rule. Even if you're working with like black keys, you're still doing that root 4, 3 to form the chord. But it just, when you're at a very beginner entry level, you don't need the extra, you don't need to be thinking about all that at the moment, okay? We'll kind of get to that point. So, yeah, just have a bit of a play around with that, just bouncing that C major, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, up and down, just constantly round and round and round, up to 4, and then get used to playing that extra C major in between, okay? What we'll do in future videos is we'll also start, rather than just using a C major chord to squeeze in between, we'll start taking like notes from the C major chord, so like the C, the E, or the G, and then working with other notes from the scale as well to kind of make some like cool little tunes to go along with that, keeping that timing with that lower pitched octave, okay? But that's going to be a little bit further down the line. We'll kind of build you up to that point. But I really hope you found that tutorial a little bit helpful. Remember to leave your likes. Comment if you have any, if you're struggling with that still, if you're struggling to understand anything, let me know in the comments. I'm always looking for like ways to kind of help people out and develop these tutorials. So if it's still a little bit difficult to understand, please let me know. I'm happy to kind of develop that a little bit more for you guys. And remember to subscribe. Invite your friends and family to subscribe. If you know somebody who's maybe got a keyboard for Christmas or something like that, and they're struggling to kind of just get to grips on working the way around the keys and that sort of thing, by all means, send them over to this YouTube channel. Can't talk. Send them over to this YouTube channel, and then you can kind of follow the tutorials, and hopefully that'll just kind of get them up and running. So thank you so much for dropping in, guys. I really appreciate it. I hope you found it helpful, and I'll see you guys very soon in the next one. Take care, guys.